the last one we need to talk about is Ronda Rousey.
Yes.
Because
Dear God.
there's a lot of angles, and I'm sorry, this is one of those ones where I know everybody else is kind of upset about it. I'm not super positive or super negative on this. I'm really intrigued. I'm
just very negative on it. I'm the opposite. I'm not even intrigued because I was a big Ronda Rousey fan. I knew she wasn't a great person. I knew she was, but I liked her in MMA. I liked her in UFC. Did she have the best ability? That's besides the point. I'm not talking stats, wins, how she won, any of it. I'm just talking, entertainment wise. I was excited when she came in and pointed to the sign. She had that first amazing match because they rehearsed it for months on end, and she wrestled with 3 of the greats. That's a fact that gets overlooked often.
The practice thing is one of those things that I'll push back on. If I see an awesome match, it's an awesome match.
Yes, but what I'm saying is she couldn't call anything on the fly. She needed that time in rehearsal, and they didn't give that to her again. So she always felt slighted and upset by WWE, like they did her dirty. When I feel like that was her initiation, and they gave you like a attaboy, here's the one up, and then from there she was supposed to learn and didn't really learn how to call or do it in the ring, and she got upset that the fans didn't like her as a face, took it legitimately, to heart. And then from there, she cut terrible, scathing shoot promos on the fans and WWE. So she has found a way to uningratiate herself with many, myself included.
Of course, yeah. She's disincentivized herself from the entire pro wrestling community.
Now,
but it's one of those.
I'm excited to see her return to MMA. You know why? That's real. That's a real fight. That's legitimate. I know in wrestling, she will not play along. She's not there to be part of the thing. So she's so anti-wrestling, not in a shoot way like it's a work, brother. No, she legitimately hates it. That it's got me baffled. If anything, I thought she would have to show up for WWE because they have the Netflix deal and the show is going to be on Netflix. So is this a fuck you to WWE specifically, I wonder?
I don't know. And here's where I'm tripping over myself because of here's the thing about the Ronda Rousey thing, right? I'm not particularly here to say hoorah, cheer for Ronda Rousey. The entire topic of Ronda Rousey in the past maybe month or so has become fascinating to me beyond whether it's good or bad. Just I'm curious. I'm interested. I want to know what's going to happen in a real life sense. And I want to know what's going to happen potentially in a kayfabe sense, because it looks like they're setting up her and Toni Storm, which is kind of weird. And I want to look at it.
So I thought, but I guess not. I guess that's why she was just a distraction.
She can't do anything until after the fight in May, which other people
But even past that, from what I've heard, it might be just a nothing burger. It was just might have been a
this is what I'm saying. Part of my intrigue is if it falls flat on its face, I have a curiosity, and the curiosity was answered by it fell on its face. We talked about this a couple weeks ago, and it sort of took it off of the wrestling conversation, but because it kind of had to be said. The whole Gina Carano Ronda Rousey comeback fight for what is it, VIP
MVP
promotions
on Netflix
on Netflix. The whole announcement of that was so interesting to me on so many levels, and so many.
I'm so excited. I love Gina. I love her like no other, and I've always been a big Ronda Rousey fan, so this is like prime Jake viewing.
But you know how I look at a lot of things as, if it's going to piss people off, I'm going to be entertained.
Yes,
right?
And people this certainly has.
Well, here's the thing. People don't like Gina. People don't like Ronda. People don't like Jake Paul. It's on Netflix, which makes it sort of like, in some people's minds, it's tangentially related to WWE, even though that's not a thing. It's in the Intuit Dome, which is a building I hate, which is something I can't even believe I'm saying. I
hate a building, but no, it's terrible for
the building. So everything about that is funny, right? Every single thing.
So far, you follow through with your delivery, yes.
So I thought it would be hilarious for Ronda Rousey, who's shat on WWE so much, to show up in AEW, think she's going to get cheered because she's the anti-WWE person, and that's AEW's bread and butter.
Yes.
And it didn't work. Now, what I'm putting out there, because there is the association with Netflix is putting it on, Netflix hosts WWE. if Gina Carano shows up in WWE and gets that fan base whipped up, and Ronda Rousey does something in AEW to get that fan base wound up, you're going to get views just because there's going to be a totally artificial artifice of she's the one that showed up on Raw. She's the one that showed up on Dynamite. I'll cheer for her. Like that
AEW
tribalism
versus
like,
WWE again
they
will pay off. I think there's a part of that. That's what I was going to get at with you.
Tribalism, and the ironic thing is the WWE one won't be Ronda Rousey, won't be the one
because apparently there's no match, Spaz. There's no set creative plans in the works for her to fight. Like this was not a foregone thing.
I will say, like,
so it seems like she's just there. It was to promote Revolution.
Sarcasm aside for a second, she's friends with Marina Shafir. And that whole, like, when you catch people and it's like their honest reaction as opposed to like whatever they're portraying.
Yes.
You saw the two of them in the ring together, high-fiving and hugging and whatever. On a human-to-human, hey, I get to work with my buddy for maybe a couple of weeks. Happy for Marina Shafir.
Yeah,
probably
awesome.
the most shine she's going to get while she's trapped in the Death Riders, which isn't going anywhere.
They had that shitty match in Ring of Honor that was...
I didn't see it. I didn't see it at all.
The tag match. It was like 2023. It wasn't good, but it wasn't terrible either.
This is where the Ronda Rousey thing becomes so funny to me. Is I should hate her because I'm a WWE guy, which means I clearly hate everything else, right? Because she went out and she's shot on WWE.
Shit all over, yes.
She shot on TKO. She shot on Dana White when it was announced that her comeback fight wasn't going to be with UFC and all that kind of thing. So she's shooting on both sides of TKO. She's shot on WWE. She shot on wrestling as a whole, and then she showed up in AEW. So the hypocrisy is right there for everybody to look at.
Yes.
The AEW fan base, I don't want to say that they're all something that rhymes with spoke, but the other things outside of wrestling that she's voiced opinions on, the AEW, I'm sorry, like
they're not a fan of it. Yeah.
I'll say it for what it is. For as much as WWE fans get accused of, if you're a WWE fan, you must be a Republican.
Yes.
Which is dumb. I'm sorry.
Not the case at all.
The liberals of the wrestling world flock to AEW shows.
Yes.
They do. I'm sorry.
You hear it in the F Ice chants for a reason,
Even
it's
CM Punk
happening.
tapped into it with some of the t-shirts that he wore in his
time with his pro
not saying
stances.
That he was advocating, saying that what he was advocating was necessarily bad, but it's the fan base that's going to go for that kind of thing, right?
Nah, you said gopher.
I did. I also said go for that thing. But the entire point being, she's been accused of, and I haven't looked into any of this, so I only know it from an accusation point of view. She's said Sandy Hook didn't happen, apparently, which is terrible. She's anti-trans, anti-vax, all these other things. Not shooting my shot on any of these topics, but she's made her voice known on them. And
I don't know about the Sandy stuff, but I know about some of the COVID stuff, and that was also like a stance at the time when everything was going on with the Mandalorian for Gina. So
well,
that was a lot of like how
dare you speak your mind? You can't work for Disney if you speak your mind.
Yeah,
two people. If there's any two people in the world that deserve to sue somebody more, Gina Carano and Johnny Depp need to get a class action lawsuit together against Disney. I'm just saying. That's my opinion. I'm not speaking for Jake. This is just me saying that. But
hey, it could happen, and I think there might be something in the works. Honestly, the way it sounds.
Anyways, so getting back to my point, this is why I think it's really funny. She pissed off WWE fans. She's got opinions outside of wrestling that would piss off the other side. So she shot on another MMA company. She shot on the other wrestling company. She showed up at the wrestling company who don't agree with her personal beliefs, got booed. On the one hand, I want to say no cancel culture, whatever the case may be. Her personal views are her personal views. Let her have a thing. Let her have a whatever she's going to do, let her do it. I'm sorry, I'm losing my words a little bit here. Whatever she's going to do,
I get your point.
On the other side, I have to go back to what we've said during the Ricochet conversation. How are they there when Trey and Briscoe and Kendrick and Swole and CM Punk to a certain degree were blacklisted for so much less?
Exactly. And for virtually nothing.
As
Like, when
much
you
as I am
say
against cancel
less, like,
culture,
far less.
I'm sorry. The one thing, this is going to turn into a political conversation, and I really don't want it to. The one thing worse than being somebody that advocates for cancel culture is somebody that advocates for cancel culture selectively.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right.
Ronda Rousey gets in. Trey Miguel doesn't. Because the fact of the matter is, as much as it hurts me to say, because Trey's one of my guys, Ronda Rousey is a bigger name than Trey Miguel, so everything's forgiven.
Yeah.
How dare we associate with people like Ric Flair? But, he's a big name. Let's bring him in to flog his mushroom juice. Pause. So the thing with, I don't know where to stand with Ronda Rousey. I don't agree with her on the personal political stuff. I also don't think that should affect my view of her as a wrestler. I think she kind of got a rough deal her second run in WWE because it didn't go as well as the first and she didn't know how to cope with it. I think her first run was fantastic. I think if we're honest with ourselves, her showing up in WWE the first time, you can't calculate what that did for WWE, including bringing a women's title match into the main event of WrestleMania.
Yeah.
That wouldn't have, like, all the love in the world for Charlotte, all the love in the world for Becky. That match doesn't get to the main event of WrestleMania without Ronda Rousey in it, unfortunately.
Absolutely not. Yeah.
And then you got fake main event like Bianca and Sasha. And then we get into the whole, night one is not a real main event conversation. And it doesn't need to be a conversation because night one is not a main event. Moving swiftly on. So it's really weird for me, like for me as a sarcastic person, for me as a tribal person, but for me as also somebody that wants to watch the world burn a little bit. I kind of want her in AEW because it'll piss off AEW fans. You know what I mean? And I want her in AEW because AEW has canceled so many other people. And there's a part of me that says, okay, she's got all these quote unquote socially cancelable offenses, and she didn't get canceled. Awesome.
Exactly.
But that pisses me off twice as much about Trey Miguel and Kendrick and Swole and Punk and Briscoe, who will never be able to get it back ever. Let's be real about that. While we've got Ricochet making fun of people about to die, let's talk about the guy that you canceled to death.
You're not wrong.
I cannot say this enough. I'm not saying this from this is awesome or this is terrible point of view. No. I am so fascinated by the entire Ronda Rousey, Gina Carano comeback fight, Ronda Rousey showing up in AEW, Ronda Rousey going after WWE while being in AEW, while promoting her MMA fight, while being on Netflix where WWE, the entire thing, beyond good or bad, is fascinating from where I'm sitting.
Yeah.
Because I don't think anybody wins but Ronda and Gina.
Yeah,
I don't think AEW doesn't win out of this.
No.
I'm going to laugh at whatever happens.
It's Marina just Shafir, Ronda and Gina. Well, MVP, Netflix, like.
Yep.
But yeah.
And this is as good a time as any for me to say, not only next Friday are we doing a Friday night pay-per-view night hangout for TNA Sacrifice, rather.
Sacrifice.
But in May, because it also falls on a Friday, I will be running a pay-per-view day hangout for Gina Carano versus Ronda Rousey. It's going to be the first MMA pay-per-view I've ever watched.